Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Trek. Obviously, it's the UK's number one Sunday night Star Trek show. That sounds, yeah. There is more than me. The rest are on the way. But my name's Dan. I'm from Trekkie Sky to Galaxy. And I thought I would just say hello and get online first of all. And do that bit first. So, evening, Linda. How you doing? Good evening. And evening to everybody else. Now, Victoria, hello. There's James.
Hello.
Hello. Christoph, evening. Stefania, good evening. Now, Carl isn't joining us at the moment because he's got some work stuff on, and Richard is snowed under. So, yeah. So you got us two, which is good.
Let's put more of a positive spin on it, shall we, Dan?
You've got us two. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, my son could come rampaging back in here and destroy my study again.
Yes, there is that. Yes. Well. So
about a minute before we came on air.
Well, I've not done any prep work at all for tonight because I've been sleeping, if I'm honest. I went to bed at 5 a.m. and I got out of bed about an hour ago. So.
Oh, right. So perhaps I better do all the news that's come out of San Diego then.
Oh, no, I know about the news from San Diego. That's why I was up at 5 a.m. because I was catching up on it all. But yes, feel free to go through the San Diego. Let's do that first. Let's do news reviews.
Yeah, let's do that before the ice melts.
Let's do that before the ice melts. Can we dedicate tonight to Victoria, who's busy writing essays?
We can. We'll call it the Victoria.
The Victoria. Let's do it.
Right. For this evening's cocktail, you will need your lovely bottle of tequila. Tequila makes me happy. You will also need some simple syrup, but because I'm posh, I'm going to use agave syrup. You will need some Ferengi lime juice. What do we know about Ferengi lime juice? It is
moist.
Well done. Very good. You also need a little ice. And of course, Dan, your favorite, the shaker.
The shaker is back.
And why not have a glass stirring rod as well from your chemistry set? Right. Okay. So follow instructions. In a tall shaker, yes, please combine the tequila. Right. Where's my measure gone? I'll use this instead. One measure or one healthy measure of tequila.
Tequila?
Your favorite, Dan?
I don't like tequila. It makes me poorly. I can't do tequila. I'll tell you what, after you've done the cocktail, I will tell you the story of why I can't do tequila. Okay.
All right. Okay. Simple syrup. How much am I supposed to put? Roughly 1 ounce. Right. So, that's a healthy glug of simple syrup. 1 ounce of lime juice. I'm taking the very artisan approach of just guessing how much stuff will go in. Why not?
Like a trendy wine bar.
Like a trendy wine bar, because that's exactly where you would find me. And shaky vigorously. Oh, look at that. No leakage so far. That's good. Right. Ice in the glass. Pour the contents in. I'm not going to use salt on the rim of my glass because I just can't face that, to be honest. Right. And top up in this occasion with rosé wine. I'm using Jam Shed. But you can use any rosé you like. But if you really want, Dan, you can always add some sort of chili or habanero sauce.
Oh, God. This is actually right. So yesterday, I found this thing in Waitrose. For those international viewers, Waitrose is a very middle class supermarket.
It's like Fortnum and Mason, but for the middle classes.
Okay, let's let you drink that first, and I'll tell you about the.
All right, here we go then. Oh, the Victoria, that makes me very happy on a hot summer's evening. There we go. Enjoy, dear viewer.
Wonderful. Right, so let's talk about the thing I found in Waitrose first about chili. There's a TikTok trend at the moment of pairing with jalapeno slices. I put it in to make it spicy rosé. I don't really like it as an idea. I think it's terrible. But more importantly, let's talk about my aversion to tequila and why I can't drink it anymore.
Yes,
so I want you to picture the scene. I'm a very young student, and I've gone for a night out in a city called Birmingham, and I've gone there on a train.
Ooh.
Public transport. This is where my fear for public transport comes from, because James knows I don't like trains. So I've been in Birmingham, and I've been drinking a lot of tequila. A lot of tequila. So I'm very pretty drunk at this point. And the friend that I'm with, who was called Alan, gave me a litre bottle of pure orange juice to drink to sober me up. So I downed this litre bottle of pure orange juice, which hit the vast amount of tequila that was inside my stomach, to which I instantly knew I was going to be sick. I'm stuck on a train that doesn't have a toilet on it, that's moving, and I know I need to be sick because it's coming up whether I can stop it or not. So I run to the bit in the train, out the carriage, but you know where the door's shut and you've got where you can come out. So it's sort of like airlocked in. And I think, right, the only place I can be sick at this point is up against this locked door. I'm going to be sick against the locked door, but it'll be easy for them to clean. And as I literally go and start vomiting, the door opens and the conductor of the train comes out, and I throw up tequila and orange juice straight in this man's face. He walked out.
I'm sure he doesn't remember it so fondly.
But drunken me did this and was like, sorry, man, sorry.
And that, dear viewer, is a reason why they should bring back slam door trains where you could get the window down and throw up out the window.
And this is why, A, I haven't drunk tequila since, and B, I don't really like trains because, I like to be can master my own destiny. Yeah. So, yes. There we go, viewers. I've just confessed to throwing up on a train conductor. Hang on. Have you ever done anything embarrassing? Put it in the comments. We'd love to share. I can't be the only idiot out there. Well, what a week it has been, James. It seems like a
toilet's there as well. It's just he probably didn't find one that had a toilet on it.
Yeah, this was like a local service train. They're not very good. And this would have been the early 2000s. So, yes. Oh God.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh dearie me.
Yes. So that's my ridiculous tequila story. So I can't drink tequila anymore for that reason.
Tequila, let's face it, it is a dangerous substance, isn't it?
I don't know. I used to.
Oh dear. I think my internet pixels are all breaking down. I can barely hear you, Dan.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can now. I did wonder if my son had turned our router off again, which is his latest trick.
Oh, how very unfortunate.
Yes, he loves doing that. As you may remember, the other week, he shut my computer down. It took me 10 minutes to boot everything back up again, just as we were about to come online.
Yes. I think my internet's being slow, but there is a result of rain outside, so I think that might be why. Yes, so I can't drink tequila for that reason. So it seems like it's been a really long week.
Yes. I can't remember why. Oh, we had that colossal heat wave, didn't we? That was why.
We did have a colossal heat wave. Very true.
We had record-breaking temperatures across the UK. So my car thermometer at one point claimed 42 degrees, but I think it had to be wrong. So I think the official maximum was at Heathrow at about 40.5.
Yes, my car claimed 40, and I can easily believe it.
Yeah, so the following day it was only 19 degrees as I drove into work, and goodness gracious, did that feel nice and refreshing.
When I got into my car and it was 40 degrees, we will talk Star Trek in a minute, I promise. I was ever so unhappy that I had leather seats in my car because I was like, ow, hot. But it did sort of make me think, in a Star Trek way, do you remember the Voyager episode where the crew get cloned by that silver liquid thing?
Yes, and they don't realise they're clones, do they?
Yes, it's like a demon class planet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I felt a bit like either I was on that or in the Star Trek reboot films when Spock's going into the volcano.
Oh yes, with that hilarious bomb.
Yes, I felt like that. That's how it felt Monday and Tuesday.
Yes. Dear viewer, when people have spoken of cold fusion, and particularly if you're listening, J.J. Abrams, that's not how cold fusion works. It doesn't turn a volcano into a block of ice. No, your science is a bit wrong there. But Dan, do you remember the film First Contact?
I do.
Do you remember there's a line in it in which Picard says 39.1 degrees Celsius, the temperature of a Borg ship?
Yes.
Seriously? Is that just a one-off mistake or something? Because why would the Borg have their ships that hot to the sort of temperature we were roasting in here in the UK that you perspire on contact that you arrived on it?
Well, what I would be inclined to say is, A, the Borg had assimilated many species, and some species liked extreme cold, like we know the Breen had suits to keep them cold, and some had obviously come from quite hot sort of environments. So I wonder if 39 was a sort of mean average, to keep everyone happy.
It'd be pretty mean.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're wearing all that leather and pipe work, it would be quite uncomfortable, I would think. If you're in a bikini, perhaps less so.
You don't want to be in a big leather outfit walking down to assimilate somebody and all you hear is squelch, 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 squelch.
Maybe it has air conditioning built into it or something. I don't know.
My name is Chafage of Borg.
Factor 50 of Unimatrix 1.
Oh, yeah. Your PVC and leather will service us. Oh, well.
A nasty infection from all that. Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about San Diego?
Well, Christoph just says maybe 39.1 degrees Celsius keeps Modular Jones, as in how fever temperature.
Yeah, well, 39.1, if that's your body temperature, is a little bit on the high end of survivable.
Maybe all the Borg are just angry because they're dehydrated all the time.
Look, that could be one reason why they're so miffed. Yes, I always thought tech was supposed to be getting more efficient so it didn't overheat all the time.
Well, you'd think in space it'd be quite easy to bleed the heat off.
Yeah. You would, but the problem is you're not using convection, so I'm not quite sure how it works. I presume if the exterior hull becomes cold, you could just run. Well, I don't know. Where does the heat bleed out? How do you bleed it out? Does it just?
Tell you what, if you know the answer, can you send it to here is a technical answer at letstalktrek.com.
I suppose it's energy, so it could be bled out. It's thermal energy. How does it transmit? I suppose it just bleeds into space, doesn't it? Yeah.
James is doing that thing that every man does, which when he hears the word bleed, like bleed a radiator, is pretending he knows what he's doing, but as really just twists the thing and hopes that he doesn't break something. That's all what's happening.
Well, we know, don't we, as a law of physics, that everything will tend towards equilibrium. So if you have a very hot thing next to a very cold thing, eventually they will average out. So yeah, but if you've got a hot thing in the infinite coldness of space, I imagine eventually it will degrade down to absolute zero.
Surely, by your theory of equilibrium, there, I should be getting chatted up by hot girls.
Who says you're not?
I'm not. Anyway, right. Let's have a look. The gas bill on the Borg cube must be crazy. Possibly. Yeah.
Well,
I bet you there's no energy price cap on that. Right, San Diego. It's a Comic-Con. San Diego is a Comic-Con in America.
We're still waiting for our invite, aren't we, Dan?
Do you know what? I've actually reached out to our friend who does San Diego Comic-Con and was like, hey, you know. To which my friend was like, hey, if you can get over here, I can get you in. It's like, right, okay. Thanks. He's like, look, you're not big enough to get a free send over in a hotel. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, we come over by ship if you like. We come over every weekend anyway to watch Strange New Worlds.
Well, talking of Strange New Worlds, go on. Lead on with San Diego news.
All right, so perhaps the most bizarre story to come out of San Diego is that there is going to be a crossover between Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, which is hilarious. Now, is it going to be like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where you have animated characters interacting with live action characters, or like are they going to animate Strange New Worlds people?
Space Jam, which is a better example of that. But yeah.
Which one? What? Sorry.
Space Jam.
Space Jam. Oh wow.
Yeah,
slightly more modern. Well, there's a new one, isn't there? Space Jam 2.
That wasn't that good.
Yes. But okay. No, I mean that is bizarre. I mean, Lower Decks is a comedy show and holds itself out very much as so. And Strange New Worlds is meant to be a serious drama. So how do you meld the two together? I don't know. Incidentally, Lower Decks is also apparently going to cross over with Deep Space Nine. They're going to visit DS9.
Well, yes, and there is a picture floating around of. I'm going to go onto Trek Movie and just find a picture
of DS9 on their viewer.
Because I did no prep for this whatsoever.
So what we do though, Lower Decks, I think, is set about 2 or 3 years post Nemesis, if I've got it right.
That's the same top that Jake Sisko wears.
Who wore it better, Jake or the bus seat?
Because we're in Britain, I can't view the videos. We're not allowed because of bloody copyright reasons.
No, so I'm just trying to think this through. DS9 would have finished by the time Nemesis came out, wouldn't it? So Sisko would already have disappeared into the wormhole with the Prophets. Now, depending on how you treat canon for things like the Deep Space Nine novels, I believe that the DS9 that we all know and love gets destroyed at some point and replaced by a Federation-built space station.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that we've seen on Lower Decks is the original DS9 station. So I just don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun finding out, isn't it? Oh, we've got a comment there from Linda. She's reminded us that the Lower Decks voice actors, unusually, who don't wear a costume when they make their show, turned up in full costume to Mission Chicago.
Yes, they did.
So who is to say they couldn't turn up on Strange New Worlds as such? I just don't know. But they're actually in different eras, aren't they? Because Strange New Worlds is sort of just slightly pre-Kirk, whereas Lower Decks is post-TNG. So they're 100 years apart, give or take. There's going to have to be time travel or holodecks or something involved, isn't there?
Well, I'm wondering if it will be Strange New Lower Decks cast running a Strange New World holodeck program and just the voiceovers,
What do you think they're going to do? Last episode of Enterprise being stolen by TNG, holodeck flashback type thing.
So let's have a look through the comments because lots of comments coming in. Martin says heat energy from a ship could be transferred to a cold area.
Presumably the exterior hull, yeah.
Cool. Who will play Jessica?
Jessica who?
Rabbit in our Star Trek Strange New Worlds / Lower Decks crossover.
Oh, I don't know. Who would you cast, Dan?
To play Jessica Rabbit? Chase Masterson.
Chase Masterson. No, Chris, you can't have Jerry Ryan. She's obviously going to appear somewhere else.
Christoph, there was an image of an animated Pike cooking with animated Cisco. They're also confirmed visiting DS9 and Lower Decks. There we go.
Oh, well, that's the new Iron Chef contest, isn't it?
Right, let's have a look. Oh, James, best behaviour. We're being watched.
Oh.
Evening, Carol.
Do you think she's right now going, oh, you naughty boys, I'm going to write you a stern letter?
She does. I'm going to go and hide in her hatch.
Still waiting on those dimensions, Carol.
Yes.
Well, that's what we know about Lower Decks. I must admit, I've not really tuned into San Diego because I'm still very cross that they haven't invited us over, or even to appear virtually.
Now, I believe there another announcement last night?
Oh, well, are we going to go for the big one?
Oh, we're a Star Trek show. Let's talk about the big
all right, let's talk about the big one. The one that means most of all, well, certainly to me. So, Picard Season 3, or as I think most people will call it, TNG Season 8. We had a trailer and we had a host of posters. Now, of course, in Picard Season 1, we've already seen Riker and Troy, but now we see Dr. Crusher, we see Geordi, Riker we've already met, of course. We've seen Troy, yes, Spoolbust. Worf, there he is. Look at him. Look how he's gone grey. Raffi.
Look how Worf's head ridges have changed again.
Have they changed again? Because he changed at least once during TNG, didn't he? And 7. Now, from the trailer, it's very dark, and if we try and play it, we'll probably get shut down or taken off or our episode removed again. But here's what I drew out of it. Who was the obvious one missing, by the way? Did you notice?
Data.
Brent Spiner didn't appear, did he?
No.
Now, obviously, Data is gone, but Brent Spiner is meant to be in it, and he'll presumably be yet another soon who will appear. But he didn't have a poster, which was, I thought, an omission or perhaps a deliberate one. But yes, in the posters, we saw Picard is wearing some sort of leather Starfleet jacket because it has the diamond down the side. Riker appeared to be wearing one with captain's insignia. Worf had captain's insignia. Crusher, you can only barely tell she's wearing one, but you can see it's blue, so it does look like she's wearing a Starfleet jacket. And Geordi, if you look closely at Geordi, the insignia that appear there look to me like he is an admiral, which I thought was interesting.
Admiral LaForge. Well, we know from the trailer as well that Geordi is a father.
Yes. Is he married to Leah Brahms? Will we finally see that romance happen?
Who knows? Right, let's have a look through some of these comments. Because
also, Dan, sorry, there's something more important still. Quotes that have come out from San Diego, particularly from Patrick Stewart, is he says, we do go back for a time to the original Enterprise, but he doesn't specify which he means by the original. We presume probably the D, but it's also mentioned that more than one Enterprise will appear. So will we see the D? Will we see the E? And perhaps we'll see the F.
Oh, can you imagine if Admiral LaForge has got the Enterprise F?
Well, I mean, it was always suggested that Captain Worf went off in command of the Enterprise E after Nemesis, or at least after Picard disappears off to do the Romulan relief effort.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're 20 years on post-Nemesis. He could have had a whole career. Enterprise E's been decommissioned. There's an Enterprise F, and it's entirely possible LaForge is.
Do you remember in Deep Space Nine when Worf goes off and sacrifices the mission to save Dax?
Yes.
Cisco turns around to him and says, because of this, you won't ever get a shot at being a captain. You've screwed yourself.
Yes, but I think they glossed over that. I mean, I remember the episode where he kills Duras, and Picard brings him into the ready room and says, Mr. Worf, until this point, your disciplinary record had been spotless until you killed the Klingon ambassador. He doesn't just have a minor infraction. He goes, right, I'm going all out.
I'm going full Klingon. Right, let's have a look at these comments because they are building up. And I want to make sure we mention people.
All right, cool.
Martin, Michelle Speck from Star Trek continues for Jessica Rabbit. If we're gonna.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Trekkie girl Sam as Jessica Rabbit.
Ooh.
She's
Well,
gorgeous.
Sam, if you're watching, dial in and let us know if you're up for that.
Trekkie girl Sam is gorgeous too.
Dan.
What?
Did you see the Trekkie girls do their episode on Friday?
I did.
Talking of top class Trek entertainment being back online, did you see and hear about Sam's fan fiction?
Yes.
Now I demand that they make that episode. I demand it.
I think we crowdfund it.
I'm totally happy to cameo in there somewhere. I'm happy for them to use the Riker's Beard sets, but I want to see this made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, Vicky.
Yeah. Right, so look, Christoph says apparently there's 2 new Trek shows in development.
Oh, do you think we might get to a point of, I never thought I'd say it, but do you think we get to the point of there being too many shows coming out at once?
No, I'll tell you why. Because you look at Star Wars on Disney and they're releasing left, right, and centre, and it's still great.
Just because they're doing it doesn't mean everybody has to. We're going to have too much stuff.
I'm going to say this now. Obi-Wan was brilliant. I really liked Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan was brilliant. Mandalorian was brilliant. But there are so many different Star Wars animated things out there. I've lost track. There's another one starting in about a month's time, isn't there? Andor or something.
Book of Boba Fett was a bit, but
Well, he's not even in 2 episodes. And the Mandalorian is in it. You go, well, hang on.
Right. Let's have a look. So also in that lineup of people that we've had pictures of, Martin has very correctly pointed out, there's no Wesley.
Well, he's a traveller, isn't he? He's gone off doing his own thing.
Right. So let's talk about a couple of other ways. Firstly, there is currently a campaign going to release Alex Kurtzman with Seth MacFarlane as leader of Trek.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a legitimate campaign. It could be fun. I mean, MacFarlane obviously loves Star Trek, which is why the Orville is basically Star Trek under a different name.
But the problem is MacFarlane hasn't been able to, in Orville's 3 seasons, it has been done, cancelled, renewed, and switched network.
But it is brilliant, isn't it? All of us Trek fans absolutely adore it.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, you don't like it?
I do like Orville. I just think it could be. This new season's much better. Season 2, I think, just took a bit of a weird dip.
What? Even with that massive scene where they have the Kalon attacking Earth and the huge space battle that was worthy of anything that's been on the cinema screen with Star Wars.
All right, that was all right.
It was magnificent.
Oh, it's all right. Right, so let's have a look.
I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for Keith Harris and Orville to appear, aren't you? And sing, I wish I could fly back up to the sky, but I can't.
Chris would like to see a LaForge show. You have to frame it as a question. Victoria is wrong.
Do you mean Transporter Chief Victoria?
Because Carol is definitely up for this. I assume she means doing the fan fiction, not me hiding in a hatch. So,
Carol, could you send us the script so that we can start some production notes for you?
Yes. Let's make a fan film at Ramsgate.
Well, we're ahead of you on that, Christoph.
Yeah, we're going to hijack a boat from the harbour. Captain Carol.
We'll just hire it.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, lots of comments coming in. Right, let's talk about the one cloud in this week. One cloud we're allowed to talk about.
Which one is that?
The reports that came out that Bill Shatner was less than complimentary towards New Trek.
Well, I don't think that's a cloud. I think people are entitled to have opinions, and if he doesn't think that the current iterations of Trek are in line with Gene Roddenberry's vision, who are we to disagree with him? He's entitled to that view. If you have a view that's to the contrary of that, again, equally your own.
But Mr. and William Shatner, you are, William Shatner. Let's not get this wrong. But when regards to Strange New Worlds, you're wrong.
Oh yes, I think we'd all agree that Strange New Worlds is absolutely superb.
Yeah, sorry, Bill.
Although the chap who plays Kirk, I'm afraid, falls somewhat short, I think.
Let's have a look. The Engage podcast. So we once had an episode of Franchise Fatigue with Christoph in it.
Well, kind of that's what they were saying back in 2005 when Enterprise was cancelled. They were saying we've had Star Trek in continuous production, with at least one show, if not two, at any given time in production since 1986. So they had 19 years of unbroken production, and the ratings were falling away, and they just took a view that it was perhaps time to rest it, and they rested it really only 4 years before we had a film, and that film was fun, but my opinion, not really Star Trek. But then we had two more JJ films, and then finally we had Discovery turn up, and then we then got Picard, which was worth waiting for.
It's strange how other franchises had a bit of a fallow period as well. And we were talking about this in work the other day, how not Star Trek. At one point, the biggest show on the planet was CSI. That was one point one of the biggest shows on the planet.
Which one? There are hundreds of them, aren't there?
CSI and CSI Las Vegas, I believe. You've got NCIS, which is one of the top-rated programs on the planet at the moment, which is on season 19 or 20. The public will stick with a program if they like it,
Well, don't a lot of these shows have a turnover of cast? So, you may well have the crime scene investigators in Las Vegas, but you'll have different detectives and so on. So, British equivalent is Death in Paradise, which is great fun, but the lead character changes quite frequently.
Or an older classic in Britain would have been Holby City, where the doctors come and go.
Well, indeed, and with a surprisingly high mortality rate among the medical staff. Incidentally, because you may know I was a big fan of Holby, I found out that the building used for Holby City Hospital was actually Neptune House, which is part of Elstree Studios. Which is interesting because it appeared in EastEnders this week. They were wandering down some corridors, and I thought that looks familiar. And indeed, it was the Holby city set.
Did you know that? Not Trek, but as we got on the subject, during the pandemic, Holby City and Casualty both donated medical equipment to the NHS because the stuff they've got on the sets is actual real medical equipment, like respirators and ventilators and stuff. Because
the suppliers donate it to them because it's actually good marketing for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
you wouldn't. I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be a coroner in Holby, would you?
Well, I saw an inquest in an episode of Holby and thought, I don't know who to advise them on this, but this is a little bit off beam.
You wouldn't want to be there, and you wouldn't want to be in Midsummer.
Well, I would never get on any kind of train or cruise ship or whatever if I saw Hercule Poirot getting on board, because I would think, this is bad news. Get off. Have I got a dinner jacket with me? I'm going to die.
Well, who's the Trek equivalent of that? Who's the Trek equivalent of whenever you see him, you know somebody's going to die?
Well, it's like when Kirk beams down with anyone in a red shirt, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But right, so let's have a look.
I'll tell you what. So the longest running sci-fi program in the world is, of course, Doctor Who. Which is still in production, although I've not watched it in a couple of years because it got so terrible. I'm just waiting for them to regenerate it. But can you tell me the science fiction program that's the longest in production with the same consistent cast? It's British, Dan, if this helps you.
Red Dwarf.
Yeah, Red Dwarf. It's been going since I think it's 1985, so I think it's just ahead of TNG, but it's still in production.
Yeah.
There's another series underway at some point. But I mean, granted, there's not very many series, only 11 or 12 over 30 years. But same 4 principal characters. Well, 3 from the very first series. Crichton appeared from season 3, but he's been there for most of it. So yes.
Chris holds up. Who's going to Ramsgate? Because he is. As is Gary.
I'll be there. I live there.
Emma's going to probably come down. Christoph would like starships, not Earthbound Sea Hoppers. He's still waiting for confirmation, but if the former Ellis... Yes, it's got... Right, James, do us a date reveal.
Okay, right. So RikerCon 2 will be on Saturday, the 1st of October. It is October, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's October. So Destination was meant to have been on Friday, the 30th of September through to Sunday, the 2nd of October. That was the weekend that was going to be. That's cancelled. So we've decided, well, we'll go to our venue in Ramsgate again, rebuild our bridge, and we'll just have a social there. No, I can't promise any particular content. We'll do a quiz. We'll have some fun. We will see if we can screen some fan films or something. We'll see if we can get some authors to turn up. We'll see what we can do. But the key point is there's no charge for this. Just turn up. We're going to have a venue. It'll be nice to see people. We can all get together. You can play around on the bridge set. The hotel's offering a relatively cheap rate for rooms. There's 34 rooms in the hotel. And we'll have a laugh. Let's just get together.
So I have a solution for RikerCon. So you know how Destination Star Trek has unfortunately been cancelled because politics. Let's put it as that. I thought it might be fun because you know how when you organise something at work, like say for instance you organise drinks or you organise a get together at work and you invite everybody, and then say for instance the date changes and someone always forgets to get the memo, or someone doesn't get invited because the memo doesn't go out properly. I thought if we rocked up to Heathrow and we could see which celebrities...
See if anyone turns up.
See if anyone turns up a destination that's not been told it's cancelled, and we'll just steal them for RikerCon. Like Star Trek event is what you put, so that it's generic enough. Oh, come with me, take a seat in the back of the car, I'll drive you there. It's a bit of a drive.
Well, that's true. We didn't offer you any kind of fee. Don't know what you're thinking of.
Yeah. Oh, the way to do it. Right, let's have a look through the rest of these comments. CSI just dragged on, says Chris, he's wrong.
The Care and Quality Commission would have been all over Holby. Well, yeah, I mean, certainly they had issues with their record keeping, amongst other things, their admission protocols, and numerous issues. Yes, Alan, they do, and it is the most expensive machine in the hospital.
Let's have a look.
Yes, that's right, Christoph. Essentially, it boils down to money.
Chris, yes,
you
can do the quiz.
Picture a slice of cake. What is that?
Whose?
Alan Wynne. No, is that a slice of cake? What is it?
Looks like a brownie.
Hmm.
Chris also just volunteered to do the quiz, which means I don't have to. Well done, thank you.
Well, that's fine.
Nicely volunteered. I will be getting drunk. Not on tequila.
Or won't you?
Excellent rating. The rooms are nice for RikerCon.
Yeah.
See, I will be coming down to RikerCon on the Saturday. I was going to come down on the Friday, but unfortunately I can't because Friday I'm going to Secret Cinema in London to watch Guardians.
Shh, it's a secret.
To watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. Yes, so that's what I'm doing on the Friday. Yours. Right, so that's RikerCon. We've talked about that. What else were we talking about?
Well, obviously there's Sam Darrah's fan film that we're all looking forward to seeing. So we'll hope that's been produced by RikerCon.
Chris, coming down on Friday for family time as I'm bringing Mrs. Geek and Toddler Geek.
Oh, well, you'll enjoy the bonny seaside attractions of Ramsgate, although it will be September, the last day in September, so it may not be very warm.
It will also be my birthday weekend, so feel free to purchase me drinks.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And this is also Carl's birthday, the week before.
Will Carl actually be able to come down? Because he hasn't been able to join us tonight, so hopefully he can get the week.
I'm planning to just kidnap him, to be honest.
So you'll just drive past his pub, bundle him into the back of your car and drive him down?
Yeah, well, I'll order him like a Deliveroo. We're not going to audition. You're doing the role. Behave yourself, Victoria.
We've got a transporter console, Vicky. Don't worry.
Yes.
Well, we don't just have a transporter console. We have a transporter room, so that's fun.
Can you just? Let's have a think. What else is going on this week? Yeah, so we've talked about San Diego. We've talked about William Shatner doesn't like Star Trek because it's Shatner. The kid who I invited up on stage to meet Back to the Future, his dad sent me a message after I posted those comments and said, "Thank you very much. Apparently, I've made his week and he hasn't shut up about it since."
Yes, I found that for you on a Back to the Future forum, I believe.
Yes. His dad said that apparently this kid has been telling anyone that will listen that he got to go and meet the Back to the Future cast. So,
indeed, and what a lovely thing that was you did for him.
If it's my birthday, don't I have to supply? I will supply the cake. I've got no issues with that. I hope you all like scones, which are my favourites.
I'll get Mrs. D to do some baking.
Do you know what the best? Do you know how fast? What the fastest cake in the world is?
Scone.
Yes, exactly. Friends that do Escaping London on the marathon and the NFL weekend, of course. NFL, for those of people in Britain, not our American viewers, for our British viewers, is what we would call wuss rugby. It's like rugby, but for weaker people because they have to wear pads and armour and stuff.
Where they wear lots of armour and they have two different teams who change every time the direction of play travels.
Yes. It's like rugby for weirdos.
They call it football, but they don't actually kick it very often.
No, it's strange.
Our proper version is called rugby football.
Oh, can you get a tardy slip out, please?
Oh, Judith. Report to Dan for disciplinary action.
Manchester, UK, United Kingdom. Have we talked about Lower Decks season 3 starting in August? Well, that's like...
Isn't that what we were talking about with the crossover?
Isn't that like 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
More injuries in the NFL. That's because they don't know how to play it properly.
Yes.
Wouldn't. Yes.
Yeah, I tell you, this will make you laugh, Dan. When I first started at school, and we were a rugby school, not a football school.
Okay.
I was a mere slip of a lad, and I was petrified of playing rugby.
Okay.
And I was somewhere down at the back of the field, and I heard calling up from the front, "Stop the match! Someone's leg has come off."
Right.
And this was not a joke. There was a lad who was in my year who had a prosthetic leg. I didn't know he had a prosthetic leg at this point, but it had come off in this game of rugby. And I thought, tiny little boy that I was, I'm going to get killed.
Right. Okay.
Oh dear, yes, but you watch rugby and the guys get up covered in blood, going, "I'm okay, ref, I can play on." Compare that to association football, where they go, "Oh, ref, his shadow went near me. I need a penalty."
Well, yeah. So, what I thought we'd do, just keep talking about yourself, Jones. I'm just going to do something if it'll let me.
Talking amongst myself. All right, okay.
Yeah. Can I do that?
So, if anyone wants to come to RikerCon, there will be at least one bridge, if not two bridges, at RikerCon. And if anybody has anything they'd like to see or contribute or do, for example, you want to screen something or you want to host a workshop or do a chat or screen something, then PM me. Let me know.
Fair enough. Yes, exactly.
I want to make it fun, make it worthwhile people coming down. I mean, it'll be lovely anyway. It'll be a big social, but some content, some actual activities we can all play. We can do Hungry Hungry Hippos if we like, where we just move people around on dollies, grabbing balls with cardboard boxes.
Yes, absolutely. Let's talk about conventions, actually. Let's talk about a certain Comic-Con that went a bit awry last week.
Oh, are you talking about Southampton?
Well, I wasn't going to mention it by name. Oh, now you've mentioned it. Go on then.
Well, yeah, so I'm not sure what it traded as, Dan. Do you know the name of it?
No.
I think they had a lot of the Back to the Future people there because they were all in the UK anyway, having done LFCC, and they've been to the musical. I think they've done a couple of events. Mm-hmm. So the rumours that were coming out are that the people who organised it basically ran off at the end of the weekend, and they've issued a public statement that I've read, in which they say things went catastrophically wrong for us. Largely speaking, they felt that they'd got out of their depth. They were being overcharged for things left, right, and centre. And they ran essentially because they were petrified of getting attacked, and have indicated their intentions to try and make payment to everybody to whom they may or may not owe money as soon as they possibly can. But it is a salutary lesson for those who might seek to run events. And of course, I'm listening carefully to this, that if you make promises and you take people's money, and if you promise to pay money out, you must be very, very careful.
Yes, there was, I believe, several guests have had issues with getting paid, is my understanding. The venue haven't been paid. A lot of the audiovisual people haven't been paid. Yeah, it's a bad old do, really.
Well, they put up comments saying like, "Oh, we were told it would be £800 to rent the venue, but then we were told it was £3,500 to put down some protective floor coating." And you know, if the people who've organised this want to put a statement through us, then of course we'll be happy to consider it. But it sounds to me as though there was a lack of planning going on.
It does sound like it was a bit badly organised, if I'm honest. Yeah. But still a thing.
Yes. That's why RikerCon doesn't promise you anything apart from just a bit of fun with your mates.
It's true that.
And of course, if we're not charging you, you can't complain.
Yes. Well, I thought we'd finish tonight's nattering while people are still watching us. God knows why. We would do my own version of What in Sam Hill. I've got one for tonight. So.
Oh, you're going to do Wish, are you? Brilliant.
Yeah. So mine's not really a Wish clip, but we're going to commandeer the Wish banner to throw it under. So here we go.
Well, why not?
So yesterday, while on the internet, I found a video that unfortunately I can't show you. But then I was watching something called UFC. Now, do you know what UFC is, James?
Is this something like WWE?
UFC is a bit more raw.
Bit more.
Yeah, full contact given and all the rest of it. But at the end of it, there was a post-match interview with one of the guys who's called Paddy Kimbot. He's called Paddy the Baddie. And I just thought we'd play it because, you know what, it's a very hard-hitting message. So I thought we'd play this because it's quite serious. It's nothing to do with Star Trek, but you know what? Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to dedicate this fight to little baby Lee, little warrior. Like, more of a fighter than any of us will ever be. But also, I woke up on Friday morning at 4 a.m. to a message that one of my friends back home had killed himself. This was 5 hours before me weigh-in. So Ricky, lad, that's for you. But there's a stigma in this world that men can't talk. Listen, if you're a man and you've got weight on your shoulders and you think the only way you can solve this by killing yourself, please speak to someone. Speak to anyone. People would rather, I know I'd rather me mate cry on my shoulder than go to his funeral next week. So please, let's get rid of this stigma and men start talking.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
There we go. Not Star Trek, but a very strong hitting message. Yeah. Talk to people if you're not feeling right.
That's what your friends are for.
Yeah, and we're big fans of that on the show because it has been talked several times. It's something I've suffered with recently. It struck me as it was a very, in fact, Vicky just put it, excellent way of using this platform. He knew that a good percentage of, there was millions of people watching. And I think if you have got the ability to be in the public eye and get a message like that across, you should. I think it's almost your obligation to put a message like that across. Lots of things like that. Although Gary has just said, "Is that a younger Carl?"
To be fair, Carl's accent is far easier to understand.
Yeah,
viewers who may be watching from the Americas or other continents, his accent appeared to be from Liverpool, which is a city in the north of England.
There we go. Let's have a look. Lots of positive comments. So yeah, that's not a wish clip as such. It's not Star Trek, but you know what? It holds true to talk to people. So that's more or less it for this week. I mean, that's us. We've napped for nearly an hour. We talked about Star Trek.
Bearing in mind there's only 2 of us rather than 4, the fact you've had a full 52 minutes of content is pro rata actually really quite a lot of a drain on us.
Is it time to go home now and sleep?
Well, it might be time to sleep for you, Dan. I'm going to log on to work and send some angry emails.
Oh, I've got work at 8 a.m. So Yes, very busy day tomorrow. I have to go to the. All right, now we're talking. I've got to go to the hell that is IKEA after work.
Why?
I've got to go and pick something up for work, and they only sell it in IKEA. So
IKEA don't do a very effective delivery service, do they?
No.
It's like sort of not worth the while.
And it's just like, it's a rubbish shop when they have to put a restaurant halfway round because you've died of exhaustion. You have to fill up on meatballs and mash to then make it round the rest of the shop.
It's very clever the way they've laid it out so that you get led past absolutely everything to get to the way out. It's like, there are, by the way, dear viewers, if you've never been to an IKEA, there are shortcuts. They don't advertise them, but there are secret passageways that you can cut through to get to the end quicker.
Right, so let's have a look.
One thing about IKEA is there's no natural light. It's always inside a completely enclosed space. So you just have no idea where you are. It's like being sort of inside a cargo ship.
Or a Galaxy class starship. Yeah.
Well, Galaxy class starships have lots and lots of windows.
Yeah, but it's always dark outside.
Well, unless they're in orbit of somewhere, in which case it's not so dark, is it?
Meatballs. Oh, well. Right, the crowd has spoken. They're all saying goodbye. So shall we go then?
Yeah, I think they're telling us something, don't you?
Yeah, all right. Christoph's got roadworks starting soon. So if you need an angry letter writing about the roadworks, James's dad is the man to speak to. James,
right, very angry.
He knows it's true. There you go. I believe that's about IKEA.
IKEA, I think.
Yeah. Rather than feeling low, which is what we were talking about 5 minutes ago, because that would work for that as well. So.
Yeah, here's another top tip. Why not take a big ball of string with you to IKEA and pay it out as you wend your way around so that people can retrieve you?
There are several YouTube videos, if you can be bothered to look, of people who play hide and seek in IKEA for 24 hours. It is an actual challengey TikTok type thing you do. You hide in IKEA for 24 hours.
You hide when they close up and that's sort of in a wardrobe or something.
Yes, and then there's like, shh, I can hear security going past. Shh. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. So that's it for the show tonight. Thank you very much for watching. We love you all. If you do want to get in touch with us anytime during the week, we're all on Facebook. You can find us or message our pages, Riker's Beard, Trekkies Guide to the Galaxy, and we will natter and say hello. Until then, we'll see you next Sunday.
Just before we do go, Dan, there is one other piece of news that we haven't focused on. It's a big one.
Okay, we've
By
waited.
the time we come back next week, that will have been the finale of Neighbours. Neighbours will have finished after 37 years.
Oh well, like we say,
I'm loving it. I'm watching a few episodes. The Harold Bishop's back. Oh, it's brilliant stuff.
franchise exhaustion.
Scott and Charlene are back this week.
Chris will drive a hide in a Lego store. Bye bye, Linda. Hide and seek at RikerCon.
It's not that big a venue, Gary.
Bye everyone.
All right, toodle pip.